The UTTP. By now, you probably know a lot about them. They're the notorious so-called online trolls, stirring a ruckus on YouTube along with many other platforms. I've made 2 videos prior surrounding these online criminals, and so this will be the finale. If you haven't seen both part 1 and part 2, they'll be linked in the description below. I highly recommend watching them both to get the most out of this video. Nonetheless, this video is packed with tons of information from start to finish. I've included all publicly available information from 2011 to present day surrounding the UTTP, and also all private info that I was able to obtain. A quick disclaimer before the video starts. Some parts of the following content may contain extreme themes and/or ideologies. Also, any shocking images or messages have been blurred. This is the complete lore of the UTTP in 10 minutes. It all started back in 2011, when an internet and online gaming enthusiast by the name of Thomas Parkinson was playing Xbox games like Halo and Call of Duty Black Ops, just like everyone else. Well, that was until he decided one day while watching YouTube that trolls were a big issue on the platform, and so he made a YouTube channel called YouTube Troll Police Team, better known today as the UTTP. As people began to see Tommy's comments and trolling around the platform, many were getting curious, and so around 2011 to 2014, people began to join in, making their officer name and avatar, always using the UTTP's standard cartoon image. Groups of people and Tommy himself had set up communication servers, doing so at the time with Google+, which today could be compared to a server on Discord. Shortly after the UTTP started to gain some publicity, they would change course at what seemed overnight. A minority of members would begin attacking YouTube channels, spamming and harassing fandoms, and overall just being internet bullies. Though unfortunately over the next few years, this minority would become the majority. Now, for the period surrounding the early 2010s, not a whole lot of information was available, with the UTTP primarily making a large name for themselves from 2018 onwards. But nonetheless, here's one major event that occurred around late 2014 to early 2016. Fandom fight. On the 19th of May 2015, the YouTube Troll Police had threatened to take down the Fandom, a hangout on Google+, despite not being on YouTube. The fandom didn't take this threat lightly, and thus a flame war began. I don't know what that means, but that's what they're saying. This incident also confirms that the UTTP no longer considers the VGCP a major threat. Who are the VGCP? The Video Game Cartoon Police, often shortened to VGCP, is a group filled with immature users who think they have authority when in fact they don't, and they think they're more powerful than everyone else. Okay, so I got that from a website. Essentially, a guy who was a part of the UTTP, rage quit from the UTTP. Isn't that ironic? Anyway, this former UTTP member went on to create a community of his own, copying the UTTP style a bit but focusing on different fandoms. The VGCP was born. Apparently this group is still relevant today, but everywhere I look, I see dust. I can't find it. In 2015, the VGCP turned against the non-siders. Who are the non-siders? Basically anyone in these fandoms or groups that doesn't join or choose to praise one of these online communities. Eventually, the VGCP started acting like the YouTube Troll Police, angering many people online. Anyway, why is this even relevant? Well, VGCP is just one of many UTTP-styled groups that sprang up out of nowhere, and many would follow in its footsteps years later, like YFGA, but I'll get back to that later. Also, for those curious about Tommy Parker and his whereabouts, allegedly he lives in Liverpool and was actually in jail around 2015 to 2016 for allegedly knocking his brother unconscious while watching Lord of the Rings. Unfortunately, I cannot confirm nor deny these claims, but the age and photo given in the 2015 Liverpool Gecko article match up pretty well in my opinion. And again, this is not confirmed. I'll let you guys decide that for yourselves in the comment section. But whether this is real or fake, I'm sure Tommy would be very careful nowadays with his identity on the internet, aware of the creature he had created. But Thomas would not be the only significant figurehead for the UTTP, as many would come to follow. The year is 2015, and you're scrolling on YouTube. You stumble upon a video in your favorite fandom, and all is well. That's until you go to the comment section. Hate speech upon hate speech flushes over your screen. And this is all because of the doing of one man, Stephen Larsen. Leading the UTTP in 2015, Larsen was notoriously known around fandoms as being one of the more harsh leaders. organizing and ordering attacks onto many popular fandoms at the time. Most significantly, Five Nights at Freddy's, with the UTTP threatening to take down the fandom as a whole. At the end of Larson's reign though, he would show some remorse, but not in the way you'd think, stating, "I'm proud I can hold an army, but ever since I got here, I realized they were little shits." Traveling a bit in time to the 2016s to 2019s, the UTTP weren't the most relevant, with most of its members actually banding together in small groups to spam and bully certain creators and Google Plus Hangouts that they collectively disliked. Many of these people partnered up and cyberbullied these individuals and channels because they didn't like their content, or that it was popular and other people liked it. A now deleted Reddit post by a former UTTP member brings a question. Any insight on why they target one thing over another? As in, is it more likely that they target popular things / trendy things? The former UTTP member responded, "It's been a thing since 2014, especially FNAF. We expect reactions most of the time and laugh at their responses. Truly sick. But this is a mere fraction compared to what was to come." The year is 2020. Google Plus isn't relevant. A new UTTP leader comes to front, and the dark era is just about to begin. Project Gacha Fool. During the early 2020s, the UTTP, along with other wannabe online authority groups, would focus on scaring and harassing gacha fans and content creators, mainly doing so by sending sketchy IP grabber emails and hidden virus downloads. UTTP at this time was led by a group called the Anti-Fandom Front, until being overthrown sometime in 2021. On July 1st, 2020, Sherbase12, the leader of the YouTube Troll Police's Doxers and co-leader of the UTTP at the time, started doxing and hacking gacha channels, and this would start the generation of alphabet groups, such as YFGA, further causing many smaller scale conflicts between alphabet groups, such as the war between YFGA and ALGG, which went from around early 2020 to late 2021. YFGA, by the way, stands for YouTube Farm Gang Army, and ALGG stands for Anti-Lisa Gaming Group. Oh my. After this war, apparently there was a UTTP civil war, but I couldn't find too much on it. All I know is that this person by the name of SBK was what triggered it. The year is now 2023. Emperor Anime Sucks is the UTTP's new leader, and a lot has changed. Starting in the late December of 2023, the UTTP intervened in one of their biggest conflicts yet, taking on and making fake accusations against newer content creators, and some popular YouTube Shorts creators like DanoCal Draws. This would be known as the Shorts War. This prompted many people to make videos about them, including Dano himself, who decided to actually implement them into their ARG Shorts War. Around this time as well, Emperor Anime Sucks would wage a war on the Murder Drones fandom, and really anything related to Glitch Productions in the coming months, particularly the Amazing Digital Circus. This has earned them much hatred from across the entire internet due to their sadism, getting pleasure from other people's pain, hence why kids and teenagers usually join the UTTP, especially with all the sides involved, wanting to be on the popular side, the winning side. And when it comes to groups like the UTTP, in their minds, they are the winners. Talking in caps locks and screaming at people in comment sections, they think they're absolute champions. Anyway, one large incident soon came that skewered their reputation down that much further. In January this year, MatPat would retire from Game Theory. You can guess what the UTTP did, led by Anime Sucks. They mocked his retirement, hundreds of comments at a time. So, at the present date today, who have the YouTube Troll Police become? Well, they're just an alphabet group that was lucky enough to survive throughout all these years off their reputation, which kept luring more and more kids into. Today, any group affiliated with the UTTP is really just a joke. For anyone saying that this or similar videos give the UTTP attention, no, that's not the case. These online communities will always be around and be very annoying. This video, if anything, provides information to the situation and hopefully, as an end result, gets kids and teenagers to think twice about joining one of these groups. Also making parents aware of this issue. But back to the present, Emperor Anime Sucks recently abandoned his UTTP empire, also getting his Discord account terminated. After this, there were a few other UTTP armies, but none as of yet that have been as successful. It seems many UTTP spam bots are still active around the platform today. My content is better, plus W plus you suck. That's usually how it goes. Also, CP, animal hate, all these sorts of things have been linked to the UTTP, but it of course doesn't make up the majority of them. Either way, the few members who did and do this are absolutely disgusting. The 10 minutes is up. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video informative. That's all. Peace.